Hello, family and friend. Allow me to start by welcoming you to our podcast channel that is called Voice of Transformation. And my name is Justin. I'm really grateful and honored to be here. And of course, as you can see, I'm not here alone. So I'm with my friends, with whom actually I can say like have known very recently, but we build like that friendship and strong friendship. I want to just give him a microphone and talk a little bit about himself.
Yeah, thank you, Justin, for allowing me to be here, and it's my honor.
Yeah. Yes.
And I know most people when they start a podcast,
Yeah.
you know, they think about
Yeah.
it, and they don't. Most people don't do it.
Yes.
So, so really proud of you guys for doing this. So,
Mm.
I'm honored to be here. And yeah, my name is Kieran Weatherspoon.
Mm.
I was born and raised in Vancouver, Washington. Well, born
Mm.
in Portland, Oregon, raised in Vancouver, Washington. Went to school at Washington State University. That's where I met my wife today, named Yai, and we've been married for now 5 years, and we got a 9 month old, which is awesome. So it's just been incredible experience being a father. She's a
Wow.
stay-at-home mom, which is great because
Wow, that's amazing.
I've been able to be an entrepreneur
That's amazing.
and have just choices and some time and money to be able to choose what I want to do and even make more income. And so I also
Yeah.
do outside sales here in Seattle area for a hydraulic company, where I've been able to leverage my entrepreneurial skills,
Mm.
which is great. I think it's nice to own something of your own, but then also be able to help other companies out there also and add value to them.
Mm.
But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Wow.
Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, that's amazing, and thank you for coming, man. So I'm so glad to have you. So when you talked, you told me like your wife comes from Africa, and I was so much impressed and shocked because I know it's not like something for common for American, to marry someone from Africa. So like I just want to know like the story behind how you met and yeah.
Yeah, we met in choir class in 2015.
Uh,
She didn't really notice me because I didn't talk to
okay.
her. And Halloween that same year,
Mm-hmm.
I crossed for a fraternity,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up going out, and there was parties that were happening,
Mm.
and she was at this African party. I couldn't tell
Wow.
the difference. I just saw a lot of
Yeah.
black people, and so I ended up going in there checking it out,
Yes.
and I saw her,
Uh-huh.
and there was a fight that broke out. I didn't say anything to her yet. Still,
Yes.
this fight that broke out, and she, I guess, was gonna go to break up the fight, but then she
Mm.
dropped her phone in the process while these
Mhm.
arms are just swinging.
Yes.
These guys were swinging at each other,
Yes.
and I was like, "What is this girl doing?"
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
trying to put herself in the middle of a fight.
Mm.
And she dropped her phone, so she bends over to pick it up, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, she's about to get hit." So I run over there, I pick her up from behind,
Wow.
and I guess she just got her phone right when I picked her up,
Mhm.
and I bring her
Mhm.
out of harm's way, and I set her down. She turns around, looks at me. I have, because of the fraternity and what they did to me, it's helping me, become a man, if you will, working me out and stuff, and taking me through the pledge process, which is amazing. And
Mm.
I ended up having like a 8 pack. So she
Yes.
looks at me up and down,
Yes.
and she says thank you.
I know.
And I was wearing an African necklace.
Oh.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure that it was
Okay.
Africa. I didn't know.
Okay.
But she saw it and was like, "Oh,
This
you know,
come from
yeah."
Africa.
And so she got my number, and I just dropped her off at
Mm.
her college dorm, and that was it. I didn't talk to her for a whole year after that. And
Wow.
but we, funny enough, we actually ended up connecting on business. I told her entrepreneur was coming into town. He was 24 years old, walked away from full time work,
Mm.
debt free, making 6 figures,
Mm.
and he's gonna be doing a talk on campus.
Mhm.
And do you want to come? And she said, "Yeah, where's it gonna be?"
Mhm.
And I told her where, and she showed up, and she brought a
Mm.
friend, and that's how we connected. We connected on entrepreneurship,
Mm.
and from that point on, we essentially been inseparable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. So what was like the first impression of your mother or your like parents when you told them like I'm marrying African ready?
Well,
Was it like
before
something
her,
easy for them like to accept, say, oh yeah? Or they were like, no, we can't do that.
well, before her, my mom was very disappointed in my choice of women.
Oh,
And
I
then
see
when
that.
she came along, my mom
I
was like,
see that.
you know,
Oh.
yes, you know,
That's the
that's a
one.
good one. Yeah.
Wow.
Her family,
Mm.
different story.
Wow.
You know, with the African pride, you know,
Mm.
and you know, trying to marry someone from the same tribe,
Yes.
and just her traditional where she was brought, how she was brought up and stuff. Her family
Mm.
was not initially accepting,
Yeah.
but when they got to know me,
Mm.
they did accept me, which is great.
Yes.
And yeah, we have a great relationship with both sides of the family now.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So, you said you are doing e-commerce business, which is like you are entrepreneur guy, and I just want to hear from you. I know like there is a lot of definition about entrepreneurship. You know, many people define it in different ways,
Yeah.
but so I just want to hear your opinion. Like when people talk about entrepreneurship, like what do you have, like what do you understand by that?
Yeah, entrepreneurship, I believe, is
Yes.
take ownership of the 6 inches
Mm,
between your ears,
mm,
meaning your thoughts, taking ownership
yes.
of your thoughts,
Mm,
you know, accepting the positive thoughts, doing
mm,
away with the negative thoughts,
mm,
following through on those positive thoughts,
yes.
taking ownership of your lifestyle.
Mm,
You know, you are where you're at because of the decisions that, the accumulation of decisions that you've made,
wow, that's powerful.
and also taking ownership of the lifestyle that you want to accomplish and getting
Mm,
after it, making it happen.
yes.
Um, yeah, that's what I believe entrepreneurship is. It's creating. It's
Mm,
making things happen. Um,
mm.
yeah, it's taking ownership.
Wow, I love the definition. So now, I just want now we start now your journey, right? I know sometime I like it's always hard a person to choose the career, and if I can give example by myself, I remember like when I grown up, feel like I wanna do this, then by tomorrow like something else comes, say, oh, you know what? I have just changed my mind. I wanna do this. You
Yeah.
know, it just reached like around 20 years, 22, without like figuring out like what I wanna do in my life.
Yeah.
You know, so now I just want now to hear from you. How did like this idea of being entrepreneurship became like how did you just feel you know what this is something that I'm just going to pursue? Is it something like your parents were doing and say, yeah, it just started from there, or like what was the beginning of your journey?
Yeah. So from what I knew, my mom was just, you know, she was a nurse, so she
Mm.
worked a job. She was a, you know, as far as what I knew
Yeah.
at the time, she was an entrepreneur,
Mm.
and so I was basically raised, you know, by the W-2 life,
Okay.
and it was, so it was never thought in my mind, you know. And I
Mm.
also surrounded myself by people that had parents that also had a job,
Yes.
and if they did have anything that was entrepreneurial or had their own business,
Mm.
I never thought twice about it.
Okay.
I thought that rich people were evil, you know.
Mm.
I just had a skewed vision, you know, skewed view of people, and so when it came to choosing a career,
Mm.
you know, or what I wanted to do, it actually wasn't about it at all.
Mm.
But at first, it is, because that's what people say. They say, you know, do what you're passionate about. They say, do you know, do what you're passionate about. Do what you're good at. Oh,
Yes.
you like numbers,
Let's
math.
go for math.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you like building stuff,
Yeah.
construction.
Construction.
Yeah, you know, you like animals, zoology. You know,
Yeah.
zoologist, zookeeper. You know,
Yeah.
go and be Tarzan. You know, and yeah, I believe that, you know, when I came across people that talked about choosing your lifestyle, choosing how you wanted to live first,
Yes.
and then, you know, and in pursuing that, you'll get passionate about the pursuit. And then once you, you know, gain that passion, that excitement about that pursuit, even though what you do may not be sexy, but the lifestyle you create is.
Yes.
And then once you create that lifestyle, time and money, whatever lifestyle you chose, it then allows you to pursue those passions that you won't be forced, you know, to do it because you're not just doing it to make money. You're not just doing it because you're doing it because you enjoy it, not doing it just to make money. Because it's hard to, you know, if I don't care what it is, if I have to do it 40 hours a week at least every day, and I'm passionate about it, I'll no longer be passionate about it if I have to do it. You know, and so like I was passionate about percussion
Yes.
and drumming.
Okay.
I was doing that for 6th grade all the way through college.
Wow.
And there was a point in time it no longer was passion. I felt like a monkey, you know, pounding cymbals. I felt like someone just, you know, turned me on, you know, from the back, and I just, you know, I felt like a toy. And, you know, just performing for people,
Yes.
you know, because I had to do it, you know. And so but now today, like I'll drum, I'll make rhythm, and, you know, you catch me in the park and there's little drums, I'll start drumming. People will start, you know, standing by because I have rhythm, right? But I don't want to do that forever all the time, right?
Yes.
I like to do it when I feel like it, you know.
Yes.
It keeps the enjoyment. I like playing piano. You know, I do that when I feel like now today too. My lifestyle today, I chose the life I have, and obviously it can always get better, but I get to do things that I want to do, you know, today. And that's the joy of it, is pursuing those passions that I wouldn't necessarily want to make, you know, force myself to make money at, you know, but just do because I love it.
Yes.
You know, no payment, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then be able to walk away from that, not having to be at it for another 2, 3, 4 hours.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I love. And so growing up, I was told, you know, hey, you know, find your passion. Yeah, do, you know, choose what you want to do for the rest of your life. And so I was like, I want to help people. And so I looked at, you know, how can I provide for my family and still help people? And I looked at, okay, doctor, you know. And so I went started studying to be a doctor. And that was when I was young and made that decision, like, I'm going to be a heart surgeon.
Wow.
You know, I'm going to be a doctor.
Wow.
So my mom was a nurse. She linked me to other, you know, doctors, and those doctors were excited about my passion about it. And they weren't really real with me yet. They're just optimistic and wanted to support my decision to want to be a heart surgeon and stuff. And I was so set on it, like dead set. But then I started to gain wisdom, and I started to gain some life experience. And the years I performed the best at something that was outside of my relationships and people, and getting closer to my family and creating memories. Every time I focused on something that was outside of doing that, I became a little depressed. I became more sad because I was getting further away from my family. When I started a relationship, I got further away from the relationship. You know, I was focused more on work, no family. And when I was doing that, I became more sad and depressed because I feel like I was holding everything I loved with it was like sand slipping through my hands. But yet I was working so hard, you know, to love that family, to provide for that family, to be with them. And then like 5 years go by and I'm close to nobody.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, I got 13 more years to go.
Wow.
Of this. I remember just thinking about committing suicide twice, at least twice. And but I decided to follow God instead. I was like, all right, let me, you know, just go. I was against God for a little bit. Let me go with God now, you know? Yeah. And so I was in pursuit of God, and I'm like, yo, God, I'm pursuing you. I want to actually practice, you know, what you want me to do. I want to be a good person. I want to make changes. You know, I'll take whatever you got for me. And so, and so that's when I ran to a stadium of entrepreneurs. And how I did that was I met a friend, and that friend was in a bad association, so I brought him out of association into Spokane, Washington. And when I got to Spokane, they were invited to this arena. Not me. I was just their driver for free. And we were outside of the Spokane arena, and there was a bunch of entrepreneurs in there, and I asked if I could come in too, because I had to close the party. And I heard it was going to be a little concert portion, but we were so late we missed it. So we got in there, there's a bunch of entrepreneurs with suits, just like any other conference that you would go to. And I was like, dang it, I missed it. I came here to party. But then I started listening, and there's a couple on stage that was talking about success, talking about lifestyle, talking about values, talking about making the right priorities. Things I never heard before, especially to a huge crowd. Talking about values outside of like church. I never heard anybody talk about like their values and in a business. And talking about entrepreneurship and ownership and getting married, staying married, stuff like that. It's better to have money that have money that you don't need than need money you don't got.
Wow. Wow.
And just things like that, and forgiveness, just relationship based stuff, because your net worth is based off your network. And so these are just people that were masters at building a network. And I heard that, I loved all of it, but I was getting ready to leave, and my coach today that invested a lot of time into me and has helped me tremendously, asked me if I wanted to learn more about that and maybe speak on stage like that one day. And at first I was like, who would ever ask me that question? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, who would ever ask me that question? And my mom told me to never go close to Coeur d'Alene for whatever reason.
Wow.
And Coeur d'Alene's a beautiful place. I don't know why she would ever say that. And so I was, kind of in the fear mindset. I was just afraid because what I didn't know. But then I remember thinking, like, man, I grew up as a bad kid. No one ever made me do anything. I always did what I wanted to do. So if this person, is this person that's going to be my coach, ask me to do something I don't want to do, I just want to do it, right? I'll just say no and walk away. So I said, yes, I'll learn. Why not, right? I had nothing to lose. I was already losing everything. And so so 3 months later, I got started in business, and I didn't really find out, then make the decision like, hey, this is what I want to do, until I realized that it was going to give me the lifestyle I wanted. I wanted to be married. I wanted to be able to raise kids if I had the opportunity to produce children. I wanted to be able to get married, stay married. I wanted to be able to have time for my spouse and be able to say yes to her when it comes to financial things. Hey, I want to get a new dress. Yes.
Yes.
I want to get my nails done. Yes. I want to have more kids. Yes. I want to be able to say that.
Wow.
That's a lifestyle that I wanted to have. I want to live in this big house soon. Yes. I want to be able to say yes to my wife, because she's not my child. I'm supposed to spoil her. So I wanted that lifestyle, and I just knew that what I was doing, being a heart surgeon, wasn't going to give me the lifestyle that I wanted to have. Like, hey, let's go to the beach today. Let's do, let's go wherever. Oh, hey, don't go to work for a few months. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to do stuff like that and not hit me financially. I want to be able to make money while I was on vacation, make money while I was sleeping. That's the lifestyle I wanted to make, and then I wanted to impact people. I wanted to build a legacy. When I have a child, I want to be able to tell my child, hey, I'm going out there and building a legacy in the future for you. Every time I leave that door, I'm doing something on purpose. And that's the lifestyle I wanted to create. So I started to get around these heart surgeons again, now when I had some wisdom. And I was like, man, I guess when I'm little, that's not the best way to make a life-altering decision. You don't just, be at 8 years old and say, I want to be a fire truck man, and not know at all what it's like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then learn what it's like and be like, well, I guess I have to listen to my 8-year-old self.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're older now. You have more wisdom. You see what's going to take. Now you just count the cost. You count the cost and say, hey, do I want to follow this through? Do I want the lifestyle this provides? And so I started to calculate the cost of being a heart surgeon, specializing in spending 13 more years, in school, going in more debt. I was already going in debt, considering the depression I was already going through at that time before. I didn't want to go through more of it.
Yeah.
And so I stopped pursuing a passion first.
Yes.
I started pursuing a lifestyle first. And I didn't want to be an entrepreneur. I didn't want to do an online business. I love people. I love interactions. I love, and so, but I realized that as I started to build, anything you build as an entrepreneur,
yes,
like I said, it's building a network. You got to work with people, no matter
That's
what,
true.
whether it's online or in
That's
space.
That's true.
You gotta work with animals. You gotta work with people.
With people, yeah.
You gotta learn how to deal with people, and that's just the heart of an entrepreneur. Maybe at a job you can be in a corner at a desk and never touch someone's soul in your life, but as an entrepreneur, you have to deal with people because you're the owner, right? You're the face. You put on so many hats as an entrepreneur, right? And everything you do it matters. Everything you do matters. When you have ownership of something, because that says whether someone wants to work with you or not, and that can affect everything.
Wow.
You know, so whenever
Wow.
wherever you go, you're representing your company, you're representing your brand, you know,
Wow.
who you are. And so I decided to be an entrepreneur later on because I realized, hey, this can give me life I want. And I'll give just this quick example. When I was in college, I met this guy, and I was like, what does this guy do? You know, I asked
Mm.
him. He said, I sell batteries.
Mm.
I just didn't think about it twice. I was like, that's cool,
Mm.
you know? But then I saw his house. I was like, bro, you know, white
Yeah.
picket fence, white picket fence, got kids, give them whatever
Yeah.
they want. It's got a boat,
Mm.
you know, got a pool. Yeah, just like big house, man.
Yeah.
His mom got a bigger house.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, man, I never seen this before. I've never been close to something. Like, I've seen it on, you know, Instagram, stuff like that, but I've never
Mhm.
seen how someone have this type of lifestyle before.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, teach me how to sell batteries. But, you know, if you would have taught me, I'd be a competitor, you know? So he
Yeah.
didn't teach me, right? And so I wanted to be part of something where I can also teach people what I do.
Mm.
But the point is, that's an entrepreneur. They do something that's maybe not so sexy, but it works. And it
That's
gives
right.
a lifestyle that people can only dream of.
Mm.
And the problem is people can't stay engaged with the non-sexy stuff like
Mm.
discipline, consistency,
Wow.
organization. And so I that's why I decided is like, hey, I'm not gonna choose my career based off of what I'm passionate about, what I like doing, because that may change. I'm gonna choose my lifestyle. I'm gonna choose my career based off of the lifestyle it gives me
Mm.
that I chose, that I want.
Wow. I love that. I love that. So, you said something that's really that I want to like making point on that. You say like being an entrepreneur like has something to do with people because like you are serving, you are helping people, you are solving problem, which
Yeah.
is actually really amazing. uh, and people uh, tend to believe like the aim, like the primary goal for being an entrepreneur should be like making money, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I believe like if you can help people to solve the problem, then of course they're gonna pay for the service
Yeah.
as you are doing. You know,
Right.
you are just doing e-commerce and you are solving the problem for them, and they are paying for the service,
Yeah.
right? But the intention, the aim is just helping the people. So then, which means like the mindset of being like entrepreneur or the primary goal shouldn't be like, you know, making a lot of money, generating cash flow,
Right.
income, and whatever. But if you can just take in like in the context of helping people, I think like that's when it really makes sense and being like a real entrepreneur, right? So you shared a lot of your journey. So, but now, of course, and I know in a journey there is always obstacles, there's always challenges.
Yeah.
So, is there some challenges that you came across while pursuing your career, and like if you can share, how did you overcome it?
Yeah. So I won't keep it too long on
Yeah.
this answer.
Have
but
time.
but the challenge is, I think everybody's challenges stem from when they were born, when they were brought up, like how they were raised.
Mm,
And I was raised, you know, with basically a single mother, you know,
mm,
stepfather that was, you know, struggled with drugs and had to get kicked out, you know, in high school. I didn't meet my
wow.
real father until 10 years old. And then he left my life on my birthday at 12
Yes.
or something like that, 12 or 11. And he said, hey, you know, he dream built with me. He was like, hey, you know, when it's your birthday, we're going to do this, and that. My birthday came, and he wasn't able to make it. I didn't hear from him, no call, no show, my own dad. And so I took
Mm,
the him not showing up
mm,
and following through what they said seriously.
yes.
Meaning, like, every time someone said they're going to do something, they didn't do it. I took it to heart,
Wow.
and then I held resentment against him,
Mm,
and then raised by a single mom, you know, I didn't believe that much in relationships, like commitment and marriage. I started to lose hope.
mm,
Um, we were brought up. My mom said, you know, money didn't matter, and so I took that probably in the wrong way, where
yes.
I just would spend the money because it didn't matter. But then when they call you to ask for it back, it matters.
I know.
So, you know, that was an issue. So how I was raised I allowed that to play in my life, but I'm not blaming how I was raised. I
Yes.
just take ownership of like, okay, this happened.
Mm.
How am I going to deal with it? And I dealt with it by forgiving my father. Whenever someone doesn't show up, being more understanding, seeking to understand, to
Mm.
forgive them, to know that something probably something probably came up.
Mm.
Ask more questions, get more clarity. Don't just, take it to heart and be hurt forever and hold resentment towards that person.
That's true.
So I learned forgiveness.
Mm.
Obviously learned to stay away from drugs. That's a good thing.
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
but to trust like a father figure in my life, to trust an authority in my life, and believe that they aren't lying to me constantly. How to learn to be vulnerable. Yeah, some people lie unintentionally. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like
That's true.
to them, they're telling you their best advice.
Mm.
But if you go follow through with the advice, they lied. Meaning like what they were just giving you what they thought would work.
Yes.
You know,
Which is not true.
right? But really, when you go and apply it, it didn't give you the right results.
Mm.
And so there's a lot of people that lie to us on accident too, and hurt us unintentionally, or on purpose. But it shouldn't stop you from listening to the right people or listening to anybody. So I learned that not listening to anyone was a stupid decision, and also learned listening to everybody's a stupid decision. I learned that I want to listen to the right people that have the life I want, and build trust with those people, and not take how I grew up as a beginning to an end.
Mm.
End of listening to
Yeah.
anyone because I was the authority in my life fell short.
Mm.
Obviously I love my mom, and I appreciate for everything you do. I respect women, and so it was crazy because because my mom was always there. I was always growing up being close to women all my life. It wasn't
Yeah.
until college I started getting close to men too.
Mm.
And having brothers. Right.
Yeah.
And so I just had to deal with those things, take ownership, and so those are the challenges that I faced, and so that bleeding into business, entrepreneurship. I had fear of people,
Yes.
fear of people, because I felt like I was also rejected by my father. I felt like that, and so I was afraid of rejection.
Wow.
I was afraid of people. I didn't have. I was going backwards financially. I didn't have the money for anything but alcohol. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was putting alcohol on credit cards, trips on credit cards.
Oh wow.
And until I ran out of all my money, and I was had mowing lawns when I had allergies. It was horrible, and so I had those challenges. I had no money. I was making horrible decisions.
Mm.
Um, I had a victim mentality. So,
Mm.
you know, um, so I was complaining. I was negative. So my mindset wasn't positive either.
Yeah.
So that was a challenge I had to deal with. You know, is there anything else that I could think of?
Like now, how did you overcome like all those challenges?
Um, so how I overcame those challenges
Mm.
um, was mentorship.
Wow. I love that.
Yep.
Mm.
Like it's like being in this box of challenges in the dark, feeling like you're alone because you won't let anybody in. And mentorship comes along. I mean, somebody that's been through that challenge or that's helped other people or both
Mm.
through that challenge come into that dark place with you and say, "Hey, I can get you out of here. Here's how." So allowing people to speak into my life that's been out of those challenges or help people go through those challenges, that was the best thing I ever did.
Wow.
Allowing God in my life, obviously too. That gave me
Wow.
those people. Yeah. So
Wow. I love that. I love what you said like about mentorship because I believe it's really something important because like at the end of it all, we all need people. All right? I don't know if you know this speaker called Mazari. She's from I think Pakistan, like something like that. So once she was giving a talk about like success, right? And then she spoke something that's really stayed in my mind. She say like she goes like, always remember on the road to success there is always we, not me. And that's really hit my mind. I was like, wow.
yeah.
So like in other words, like you can't really become successful by yourself.
Right.
And that's true.
Yeah.
If you can go and like ask all these people who have achieved a lot in life, no one, I guess, like no one is gonna tell like have done it alone. I have, put everything alone and build this company.
Yeah.
There is always the hands of someone.
Mm-hmm.
So, which means like supporting people, they are important in life. So, and that's what like you say like entrepreneurship means like
Yeah.
always like connecting with people,
Yeah.
because who knows like how they're gonna help you. So, and it's really big challenge for a person or for a children to be raised in that like kind of situation, and having that mind, having that passion, because like like these kids who are like grown up in poor family, like they always feel they are not enough to dream big, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because of the life. They don't have money, as you say, you don't have everything that it takes. But
Yeah.
to be honest, if you have that mindset of I can do it every time, you can really do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you share about like now your journey and how far you are today. Now, what does like being an entrepreneur has changed your life, like, or like what like becoming entrepreneur has really done for your life, and say, wow, I'm really proud of this.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to hate, like my skin color,
Oh,
growing up,
wow.
'Cause I obviously I had a chance to go to my wife's country twice now,
Mm,
and that was life changing.
mm.
But before college and everything, and getting around people that look like me, I kind of was raised around people that didn't look like me, so I didn't want to look like me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like my association, if you will,
Mm,
and so I'm proud that I am proud of how I look.
wow.
I'm proud of myself. I have more self confidence today.
Wow.
I'm not afraid of strangers. I'm not afraid of people,
Wow.
right? I'm not afraid of I'm not afraid of dreaming big.
It's
I'm
amazing.
not afraid of challenge. When I see challenges,
Mm.
I'm like, bring it on.
Yes.
This is just gonna elevate me to a better person.
Yes.
I listen now more than ever before to the people that's gone before me, that have
Mm.
the results I want,
Mm.
and I'm stubborn to the people that don't got the life I want. You know what I mean? And not in like a negative way. Like I respect and love everyone, uh, but you know, if I am accountable for the decisions that I make, I want to make decisions based
Yes.
off of real evidence, right?
That's right.
And so there's people that had real evidence in their lives, and I have the ability now to tune out other things, and listen to those people,
Mm.
and not much as a people pleaser as I was. People
Yeah.
pleaser can be a disease.
Yeah.
And so I got rid of that disease as well.
Yeah.
Of just pleasing people.
Mm.
Because like I say, if you do something for everyone,
Mm.
you won't ever build anything, because you do stuff over
Yes.
here, do over there, and you
That's
want to
true.
build something and then give, right?
Mm.
Like, or give obviously as you go, but be smart, just prioritize,
Yes.
right? Like, and so I've learned how to prioritize things properly to work and be in a position where I can help people. So I can help people more. I have a just better heart there. I'm married today. But,
Yes.
I was horrible in relationships before. I didn't know how to keep a marriage together,
Yeah.
and so having the ability to hold a marriage together and focus on that and prioritize my wife,
Mm.
and acknowledge the fact that I'm successful today because of God first and foremost, but because of the wife I have,
Mm.
and then being able to have the ability to spend time with my son. And everybody that meets my son, they say positive things, and I'm not all going to take credit for it. It's really just like I said, the mentorship,
Mm.
God, and the wife that I have. But everybody says a lot of positive things about my son, because you can maybe fake a marriage, but you can't fake
Yes.
kids.
Yes.
And
That's
so
true. Yeah.
I'm very proud of that today, and this the ability to design my own life,
Wow.
to create my own income on top of a W-2 income as well.
Wow. So, Karen, I want you now to give advice for the people uh, who always think about like themselves, like they are not good enough to dream big or to do something big for them. So, as you say, like the family, was from, it was really challenging,
Yeah.
and they're like this kind of people uh who think like, no, that's for them, not for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they have this, surround of mindset of believing that they can't reach far in life. So, is it true like a person who came from poor family can really become successful?
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, they come from a poor family. They have more of a advantage. You got to
Yes.
take your disadvantages
Mm.
and make them advantages.
Yes.
Because those disadvantages, they have more of an advantage, and I think they're equipped, fully equipped, to do big things
Mm.
because they know what it's like to be poor,
Yeah.
and then also understand that it's a mindset.
Mm.
To be broke, it's different. It means you don't got the money,
Wow.
but to be poor, you will
Yeah.
remain poor because of how you think.
Wow.
And so, coming from a
I
poor
love
family
that.
doesn't mean you got to think poor.
I
Yeah.
love that.
So yeah, anyone that comes from a poor family can, yeah. I mean, a fact.
Uh,
Some of the most successful people that we know today came from poor families.
wow.
Yeah.
So then, how about like these people who always give themselves the excuse of like, uh, I will start when I have like everything that it takes. Like if maybe I want to do the business, I will have first to save a lot of money. I will have first to look for place. I will have to look like for me to have everything. Then when that time came, that's when then I shall start.
Yeah. So there's a saying that's called whenever preparedness and opportunity meet, then
Mhm.
you have success.
Wow.
And
Wow. I love
most
that.
people wait for the opportunity to show up
Mm.
and then they get
Mm.
prepared. That's like me going out, which is what I did before I have my wife today.
Mm.
Before my wife today, I would look at a girl and be like, "That's it."
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't be prepared, because if
Yeah.
that was it, I
Yeah.
lost her because I haven't worked on myself. I haven't taken care of the challenges that I had from my child and stuff like that. And so I'm gonna lose this person if that is the one that I want. So
Mm.
instead, I decided, okay, here's the type of woman that I want to be married to in my future. I'm going to change who I am as a man. When I was single,
Mm.
it's tough. It feels like life is like this when you're single. Oh,
Wow.
feels like time's going by so slow. But being married today, having kids, I feel like it happened so fast. You know what I mean? So I focus on, okay, here's what I want in a wife. Here's all the things, da 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 da,
Mm.
and non-negotiables, things that like people usually get divorced over. I made
Mm.
sure that she agreed with those things first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't even have the wife yet. I just
Yeah.
was like, this is it. This is what
Yeah.
I wanted a wife. And so okay, so I got to become the type of man
Mm.
to attract that wife. So the
Wow.
question was, am I the type of man right now to
Mm.
attract that wife? And the answer was at that time, no. Heck
Wow.
no. No, you are not the man. So what do you got to do? You got to change. You got to add value to yourself. You got to be better so you can attract that type of wife.
Mm.
And so same thing with opportunity.
Mm.
You got to prepare yourself for opportunity. Just do it. Do it.
Wow.
Prepare yourself. Right now, and opportunities will come by. We live in a world that's an abundance of opportunities. No matter where you're at, it's abundance of opportunity if you're looking for it. But
Mm.
the question is, will you be prepared? Will you be prepared for it when it comes across to you?
Wow.
And so one more example is if opportunity comes knocking at your door,
Mm. Wow.
and if it knocks at your door and you're
Mm.
behind the door, and
Wow.
you're like, oh my gosh, you look through the peek hole, you're like, oh my gosh, it's opportunity. And before you open the door, you take off the bolt here,
Yeah.
take off the second bolt,
Yeah.
take off the third bolt, take off the third bolt, unlock the door, and then you open it. Opportunity's gone
Wow.
because you weren't
Wow.
prepared. You were
Wow.
hiding, waiting for it. And so the answer is, even if opportunity did come to you, the question is, are you ready for it? And if not, get ready now because it's probably already passed you.
Mm.
But don't let the next one pass because opportunity is in abundance. You have to be
Yes.
looking for it. You have to always be getting ready for it.
Wow.
but you never wait for it.
Mm. Wow. Wow. I love that. And if I can share uh, a little sort of myself on that, I remember one time I was actually talking to one of my mentor, and like every time we could talk, I could just tell him like, I want to start like podcast. Every time like I want to start podcast. Then like one time he said, "Wait, what is holding you not to start podcast?"
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm not ready." Say like, "What do you mean you are not ready?" Say like, "I don't have like, you know, everything." So like, I was like, "What do you mean like everything?"
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't have cameras. I don't have the press. I don't have all these stuff that require like for you to be like to start a podcast."
Yeah.
Then he said, "Wait, do you know this quote that said like, start with what you have,
Mm-hmm.
use what? No, I think it goes like, start where you are,
Mm-hmm.
use what you have,
Yeah.
and do what you can."
Yeah.
Oh, and that's really become like, game changer to me. Say like, which iPhone do you have? I was like, I'm having iPhone 16. You don't have Loom? I said, yeah, I have Loom. Then why can't you just start like filming yourself with your phone and start from there?
Yeah.
And just build from that.
Yeah.
So, and from there, I just learned a lesson that you don't have to be great to start.
Right.
Instead, you have to start to be great.
That's right.
So it's really important, like not feeling like you need to have everything for you to start.
Right.
Instead, you have to start to get everything that you want,
Mm-hmm.
right? So from your journey, now I just want you now you share uh, about the lessons, the biggest lesson you have learned from 5 or 10 years that you have been doing this journey, that you feel like you can just give it to someone and can maybe make a difference.
Yeah. I would say that all it takes to be successful is a short short moment of momentum
Mm,
to have your entire life change.
mm,
But in order to have that short moment of momentum, you got to create systems and you got to be consistent.
wow.
And so I've learned that when someone has an overnight success,
Mm,
it's because they've been consistently working at something,
yes.
consistently for a certain amount of time.
Yes.
And because they didn't give up too soon,
Mm,
they created momentum.
wow.
And because they created momentum, even if it was for a short period of time, they
Wow.
have the life they have. And
Mm.
so I think the biggest lesson is when you get started, keep going, stay consistent
Mm,
and persistent.
mm,
You rise to love your goals, but you fall to love your systems. So continue
Wow.
to strengthen your systems, morning routines, reviewing your night every day, just doing those basic principles. Continue to learn from people that are successful. Continue to focus on controlling what you can do today
mm,
consistently, and know that momentum's gonna come.
mm,
It first starts with personal momentum, means
Yes.
consistent in your daily habits,
mm,
and then second, in your business,
yes.
it starts with your business.
Mm.
Then you start gaining momentum in your business, and if you're leading individuals, you're leading other people, momentum will then leak to the leaders that you're leading,
Wow.
and that's how everything can change.
Wow. Wow. I love what you say with the consistent, and it's always hard. It's always hard. Like sometimes I just made my mind to say, I'm just going to be consistent with reading books and with going to the gym every day. But guess what? How many times I was do? You know, Very. And it's not because we don't want it, like we don't want these things, but it's just because we feel like no, it's hard, and always life always it's always hard. But it's all about making decision, and if you see it is something that's gonna change your life, just go for it.
Yeah.
Yes, today is harder, tomorrow is gonna be more harder, but the day after tomorrow it's gonna be easy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can go and ask all these people. There's nothing they studied which was easy for them. It was always hard, but because they remained persistent, they remained with, passion, like they never give up. They never give up at all. They say, you know what? Until I made this, that's when I'll have to stop. And now they are successful, So I think we are closing our topic, but is there like, I just want you now to give you the time. Is there like any message that you think like we didn't talk, or like like your worst word that you can leave to the listeners?
I mean, I would just say, if you're listening, that I believe in you, and I believe God doesn't make junk.
Yeah.
I believe you're worthy of the lifestyle that you want to create and build. And I believe you can do it. I believe anyone can do it, and it just takes a decision. Sometimes there's multiple decisions, but really just takes one decision, and managing your emotions in that decision while you continue to commit and follow through with it. And so just know I believe in your ability to make a decision and stick with it. And I believe that you have potential that is always going to be untapped. And I would encourage you to wring out that potential. Wow. And go after it. Yeah.
Wow, I love that. You guys, I don't know what he picked, but I love what he said. Like on the last, he said, if someone can do it, then you can do it. So, Kevin, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time, and I really appreciate it. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time, and it was really a good time to talk with him, and I hope like you learn a lot from this. And of course, I just want you to do a favor for me, right? After listening to this, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And don't just watch it, please just share with your friends, with the family, with the neighbors, and let's just this message spread all over the world. I love you, and see you soon. Bye.